You spend so much of your life hoping people will finally see what you see in yourself. You show up, you give, you love without holding back. You try to prove your value through how much you care. But the truth is, the moment you feel the need to prove your worth is the moment you're giving it away. There's a powerful kind of silence that happens after heartbreak. It's not just the absence of someone else's voice. It's the return of your own, and in that silence, something starts to happen. You begin to hear your intuition again. You begin to remember who you were before you tried so hard to be everything for someone else. You see, we are taught to chase love, chase attention, chase validation, but what if the chasing was the thing keeping you small? What if everything you were looking for was waiting for you the moment you decided to stop running and start receiving? The people who truly value you will never require you to diminish yourself to stay close. They will never make your needs feel like a burden. They won't need you to constantly explain why you deserve love because they'll see it. They'll feel it, and if they don't, that's not your cue to chase harder. That's your sign to choose you. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong people, because the right ones won't make you question whether you're worthy of love. They'll make you feel like you finally came home, but that kind of love only finds you after you've chosen yourself, after you've decided that your peace is more important than their potential, after you stop romanticizing red flags and start honoring your own standards. How many times have you told yourself they'll change while you're the one constantly doing all the growing? How many nights have you spent waiting for a text that never came, only to blame yourself for caring too much? You are not hard to love. You've just been trying to bloom in the wrong garden. And the truth is, your glow-up doesn't start when they regret losing you. It begins the moment you realize you never needed them to begin with. That moment when you decide to stop proving and start becoming, that's when everything shifts. You become magnetic the day you stop begging and start embodying. You don't have to perform to be loved. The most powerful version of you is the one who knows her worth in silence, the one who doesn't chase because she understands that what's meant for her will choose her. You attract peace when you stop entertaining chaos. You attract love when you stop accepting crumbs. You attract value when you start walking like you already have it. The people who ghost you, let them go. The ones who can't show up consistently, let them watch you from a distance. Because your energy is a privilege, and you're not going to waste it on people who don't know how to receive it. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away, not to hurt them, but to finally protect yourself. Your heart is not a rehab center for people who refuse to do their own healing. You cannot save someone who doesn't want to be saved. You can only love yourself enough to stop trying. You become unforgettable the moment you choose yourself with the same intensity you once chose others. Start showing up for yourself the way you wished they showed up for you. Speak kindly to yourself. Set boundaries that protect your peace. Give yourself the love you've been begging others to give. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe you deserve. And when you finally believe you deserve the world, you'll stop settling for people who give you half of it. This is not about being cold. It's about being clear. Clear on your worth. Clear on what you will and won't allow. Clear on the fact that your time, your love, and your energy are sacred. Every time you decide to stay where your soul is shrinking, you tell the universe you're okay with less. But the moment you walk away, you create space for something greater. Yes, it's hard. Walking away always is. But staying in places where you're constantly questioning your value, that's harder. You're not walking away because you don't care. You're walking away because you've finally realized that caring about them more than you care about yourself is a pattern you're ready to break. You have nothing to prove to someone who doesn't value presence over potential. Someone who only shows up when they feel like it. You deserve more than occasional crumbs of affection. You deserve consistency, clarity, and commitment. You are not an option. You are not a backup plan. You are the blessing, but blessings don't beg to be noticed. They don't convince. They don't wait around hoping to be chosen. They know they are the prize, and they walk like it. So many of us were conditioned to think that if we just love harder, give more, stay longer, they'll finally see us. But what if the real magic is in knowing when to stop? What if the real flex isn't getting them to stay, but having the strength to leave? What if your glow-up is less about changing who you are and more about remembering who you were before you forgot your power? This is your reminder. You are not broken. You are just breaking free. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be found by yourself. Start holding space for your own healing. Be gentle with yourself. Forgive the version of you that didn't know better, and honor the version of you that's trying now. You're not behind. You're not late. You're right on time for the life you were always meant to have. But you have to make space for it, and that means letting go of what no longer fits. Even if it once felt like home, you'll know you're healing when your peace becomes more important than proving your point. When your boundaries stop being negotiable, when your time becomes too valuable to spend explaining your worth. Stop texting people who make you doubt yourself. Stop chasing connections that confuse you. Stop watering relationships that never bloom. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive. You're just finally tired of accepting less than you deserve. The day you stop chasing is the day you start attracting. They will feel it. Your absence will echo louder than your presence ever did. You don't need closure. You need clarity. And clarity comes when you realize that anyone who can't love you now doesn't deserve to love you later. Don't wait for someone to see your value before you start living like it's already yours. Don't let the fear of being alone keep you in places that make you feel unseen. You were born to be more than someone's almost. More than a maybe, more than a second choice. You were born to be loved fully, seen completely, and chosen confidently, and the only way to receive that kind of love is to become it for yourself first. The moment you begin loving yourself with the same depth you gave others, you step into a completely different kind of power. It's the kind of energy people feel even before you speak. It's not loud. It's not showy. It's calm, grounded, unshakable, because it's no longer seeking to be validated. It's rooted in self-certainty. You won't have to announce you've changed. They'll notice in your silence, in your distance, in the way you no longer explain, argue, or prove. You just are. You've returned to your center, and from that place, your standards become unshakable, because they're no longer built on fear, they're built on self-respect. Every time you protect your peace, you rise. Every time you walk away from what depletes you, you elevate. Every time you let go of someone who makes love feel like a battlefield, you get closer to the love that feels like home. We've glorified struggle love for far too long. We've called it romantic when someone fights for us after hurting us instead of realizing we never should have had to fight that hard to be respected in the first place. Respect is not a bonus, it's the bare minimum. Clarity is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Consistency is not too much to ask, it's the foundation of trust. You've spent too many nights overanalyzing texts, rereading conversations, trying to decode mixed signals. That's not love, that's confusion, and real love doesn't come dressed in chaos. Real love is ease, not anxiety. It's safety, not suspense. It's reciprocation, not performance. And the moment you start believing that, your standards shift. You stop accepting bare minimum. You stop mistaking intensity for intimacy. You stop thinking almost is enough. And yes, when you raise your standards, people will fall away. Let them. It's not your job to make others comfortable with your growth. It's your job to keep growing, regardless of who stays. Some people are not meant to go with you into your next chapter. That doesn't make them bad. It just means their role in your life was temporary. And your lesson is to stop fighting for places your soul has outgrown. You are not selfish for putting yourself first. You are not cold for walking away from emotional inconsistency. You are not too much for wanting clarity and connection. You are simply becoming someone who no longer abandons herself just to be liked. When you stop betraying yourself to keep others comfortable, everything changes. Your energy becomes different, more focused, more peaceful, more magnetic. You stop living in reaction and start living in creation. You start choosing your future over your past, your peace over your pride, your alignment over attachment. Stop asking why they didn't choose you. Start asking why you kept choosing them even when it hurt. Stop wondering why they weren't ready. Start asking why you waited for them to become someone they never promised to be. You've already wasted too much energy trying to be understood by people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Now it's time to be deeply understood by yourself. You are not too late to become who you were always meant to be, but you have to be willing to let go of the stories you've been telling yourself about your worth. You are not just worthy when someone else sees it. You are worthy when you decide to stop shrinking to be digestible. You are worthy when you take up space, even if it makes others uncomfortable. You are worthy when you walk away from half-hearted love and choose wholeness instead. This is your era of rising, quietly, powerfully, with grace. The version of you that put everyone before herself, that constantly justified red flags, that waited for closure, that begged to be chosen. She's tired. Let her rest, and in her place, let the woman rise who knows her worth, who doesn't need to be loud to be heard, who doesn't need to chase to feel loved. Let the version of you rise who honors her peace more than her pride, who knows that rejection is redirection, that being alone is better than being lost in someone else. You don't have to settle for connection just because you're afraid of solitude. You don't have to keep choosing people who love you in fragments. The whole you deserves the whole love, but first, you have to be willing to give it to yourself, the attention, the time, the effort, the consistency. Give to yourself what you kept begging others to give. Because the way you treat yourself sets the tone for everyone else. If you speak to yourself with love, you'll no longer tolerate disrespect. If you respect your time, you'll no longer entertain confusion. If you stay loyal to your peace, you'll no longer invite chaos. The woman who is aligned with her worth doesn't chase. She chooses. She doesn't fight for space in someone's life. She walks away with grace. Not because she's heartless, but because she finally understands her heart is too precious to waste. You don't need 1,000 people to see your value. You just need to believe it yourself. That belief alone will filter out everyone who isn't meant for you. Start choosing people who choose you in both your light and your shadows, who show up for the mundane, not just the magical, who want to build with you, not just be inspired by you, and until they come. Build yourself, build your peace, build your clarity, build your standards so strong that chaos can't survive in your presence. You'll know you've grown when silence feels safer than explaining, when distance feels better than begging, when solitude feels more empowering than settling. This is not your season to chase. This is your season to align. It's your season to stop asking why not me and start saying thank you next, and not out of bitterness, but out of clarity, because now you know being unavailable to people who make you question your value is the highest form of self-love. You are not the fixer, not the rescuer, not the emotional support system for those who refuse to heal. You are the prize, and it's time you start walking like it. Let them think you're hard to love. Let them say you've changed. Let them call you cold, because the real ones won't see you that way. The real ones will see your boundaries as safety, not resistance. Your honesty as strength, not threat. You're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong people. You were never too sensitive. You were deeply intuitive in a world that profits from your self-doubt. You were never too intense. You were just too real for people who live on the surface. And when you finally meet someone who sees that, who meets your energy with depth, your heart with consistency, your presence with effort, you'll realize why none of the past made sense. But until then, keep choosing you over and over, in every room, in every relationship, in every conversation, until choosing you becomes your default. You become unstoppable the moment you stop needing permission to honor your own worth. Let that be your power. Let that be your peace. You're not becoming someone new. You're returning to who you were before the world convinced you to doubt yourself. And that version of you, she's powerful, she's radiant, she's enough not because someone else said so, but because she finally decided she always was.